Hey, what up, guys? Coming back to you. I'm glad to be doing a weekly recap. This one is going to be from any fights that took place last week. We had two on June 9th and June 11th. The fight cards. We had ESPN. I brought both fight cards to you on Tuesday and Thursday. Want to get into those real quick. We're going to look over the three fights that I predicted on and see what happened in those. A brief rundown real quick. So let's kick it off with the card that took place on Tuesday. There really wasn't anybody to speak of besides the main event, which saw undefeated featherweight champion Shakur Stevenson defending his title against, I forgot the guy's name, to be honest, Felix Caraballo. Pretty much it was a mismatch that we knew. It was Stevenson's debut at 130 pounds, super featherweight. He moved up. He's still holding on to his featherweight title, but we'll get into that in a minute. He pretty much broke down Caraballo. Caraballo, wanted to come straight at Stevenson, and Stevenson just picked him off. He picked him off, picked him apart, knocked him down a couple times, and finished him off in the sixth round TKO win. Nice to see Stevenson get a knockout win. Hopefully, it looks like 130, following the win, it looks like 130 is going to be his place going forward. I know Bob Arum asked him to hold on to the WBO title in hopes of a possible unification with Josh Warrington at 126, which still conceivably could happen. But I don't think Warrington's going to face Stevenson, to be honest. I think Warrington's going to end up taking on Shu Kan of China in a unification bout and trying to take over 126 and remain undefeated, while we're going to see Stevenson stay here at 130 and try to take over because he's got a lot of options. But we'll get into all that when we discuss Stevenson's what's next and just go from there. So that's it. So a nice performance from Shakur as he stays undefeated. All right, next up on Thursday, we had two fights that I thought were worth watching and talking about. First, in the co-feature, we saw Adam Lopez, who back in November, he's a featherweight contender. Back in November, he had a really good, strong performance on one day's notice against undefeated former featherweight champ Oscar Valdez. This was Valdez's debut at 130, and he actually gave Valdez hell. He fought him really well, almost beat him, and ended up he ended up putting Valdez down once, and then after putting him down, he succumbed. Valdez ended up stopping him in the seventh round, but it was a good fight. He was I heard he was ahead on the scorecard, so he fought really well. But going into this fight, he was taking on an unknown fighter, and let me see here. I forgot that Luis Correa. That's right, that was his name, and he actually struggled with Correa, surprisingly. They fought to a 10-round, all 10 rounds, and Lopez got out of there with a majority decision. So Lopez's hopes of becoming a contender at featherweight, they're probably still a ways away because Correa wasn't that good of a fighter. He was kind of an unknown, and I think people were expecting a better performance. So we'll see what Lopez does going forward. But he had a chance to prove himself, and I don't think he really did. He got out of there with a very tight majority decision. It could have very easily been scored a draw. Two judges had it 6-4 in favor of Lopez, and the other one had it dead even, a draw. So, we'll see what Lopez does next. Now we'll look at the main event that happened on Thursday, which saw former super bantamweight champion Jesse Magdaleno as he fought for his third time at featherweight when he took on, Yenifel Vicente. Vicente, not too well known veteran, and Magdaleno pretty much broke him down and outboxed him, but Vicente kept landing low blow after low blow on Magdaleno, and finally in the 10th round, I think after his 4th or 5th and getting multiple points taken away, the referee disqualified Vicente, and Magdaleno gets a 10-round disqualification victory in that one. It would have been a one-sided decision if he didn't walk away with the win that he got. So nothing really to complain about. Solid performance out of him. decent, taking on nobody. He is right now #1 contender to Gary Russell Jr. and started calling him out after that for the WBC title. So we'll see what happens with that. But solid performance out of Magdaleno. You know, you can't control another guy trying to cheat his way in and continuing to low blow. So that's it. That's the weekly recap from last week, covering June 9th and June 11th. You know, Shakur Stevenson came back, got a nice win. Boxing is back, guys. Make sure you're paying attention. And Jesse Magdaleno in the main event on Thursday got a decent win. So we'll see what happens going forward. I hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing. Been hit with the truth.